Thousands of years ago, the prophet Ezekiel wrote of a time when nations from the north would rise and align against Israel. He named territories that back then were little more than distant tribes: Magog, Persia, Cush, Put, Gomer, and others. To most of history, it seemed symbolic, poetic, even impossible. Yet here we are, in the 21st century, watching the map of the Middle East shift and the alliances of nations reshaping before our eyes. The headlines today sound eerily similar to the ancient words of Ezekiel 38. The question many are asking is simple: are we watching prophecy unfold in real time? When Ezekiel described this coming coalition, he spoke of a prince from the north, Gog, from the land of Magog, leading a confederation that included Persia, known today as Iran. Persia would join forces with others in a grand assault against Israel in the latter days. For centuries, scholars debated who Gog and Magog were, how this coalition could ever come to exist, or why Israel would become the focal point of such a massive military alliance. And yet, in the last 75 years, Israel has been reborn as a nation, surrounded by enemies, and the northern powers, led by Russia, have extended their influence further into the Middle East than ever before. Consider how recent events have lined up. Russia's direct military involvement in Syria placed one of the world's largest powers literally on Israel's northern border. Iran, ancient Persia, has strengthened its presence through militias, proxies, and supply lines stretching from Tehran to Damascus, Beirut, and Gaza. Turkey, long seen as an ally of the West, now walks a careful line, building relationships with Russia and Iran while maintaining its role within NATO. Libya and Sudan, ancient Put and Cush, remain in political chaos, but their allegiances increasingly align with anti-Israel sentiments. Each of these names, once distant and abstract, now sit exactly where Ezekiel said they would. But what makes this moment even more prophetic is not just who these nations are, but how they are aligning. We are watching new treaties, secret negotiations, and strategic partnerships forming at a pace unseen since the Second World War. The Abraham Accords, the normalization talks, the shared concerns over energy, technology, and military defense. They all weave a complex web that mirrors the build-up Ezekiel foresaw. And amid these shifting sands, Israel remains the central stage, a small nation with global significance, the one piece every power seems to want to influence or control. It's not just politics, it's spiritual. The ancient texts spoke of a time when the nations would gather, driven not merely by economics or territory, but by something deeper, a spiritual hatred, a defiance against the God of Israel himself. And if we listen closely, that tone is returning. Anti-Israel rhetoric is spreading again across universities, parliaments, and even pulpits. Global media subtly paints Israel as an aggressor while ignoring the storm clouds gathering around her borders. Could this be the spirit of Gog and Magog resurfacing, preparing the stage for the ultimate confrontation Ezekiel saw? Another chilling detail in Ezekiel's prophecy is that Israel will be dwelling securely when this attack comes, not necessarily in total peace, but in a sense of confidence, unaware of the coming storm. Right now, Israel believes it has the technology, the alliances, and the deterrence power to protect itself. Yet beneath the surface, enemies plot, drones fly, and underground networks strengthen. When the prophet wrote those words, he didn't have satellite images, intelligence briefings, or cyber warfare. He saw something beyond the political, a divine orchestration moving history toward its appointed climax. The rise of technology and artificial intelligence now allows nations to wage war without even crossing borders. Surveillance, data, and energy control have become weapons as powerful as armies. The same systems that monitor populations could easily be turned to enforce loyalty or mark those who resist. These shifts are not random. They echo the preparation of a world system described not only in Ezekiel, but throughout prophetic scripture, a system uniting military power, global economics, and spiritual deception. The pieces are in motion. As the alliances harden, we must ask ourselves, what happens next? Ezekiel 38 describes a divine intervention, God himself stopping the invasion, using nature, confusion, and his power to defend his people. Imagine that moment, the skies opening, chaos consuming the armies, the world realizing that something beyond human comprehension just occurred. It will not be a political victory, but a supernatural one. And when that happens, the nations will know that the Lord is God. This is not speculation, it's pattern. Every prophecy fulfilled strengthens the credibility of the next. Israel's rebirth in 1948, the return of the Hebrew language, the desolation of ancient lands now blooming again, all happened as predicted. So why should we doubt the next chapter? When we watch Russia, Iran, and Turkey coordinating, when we see Israel's neighbors turning hostile again, when global leaders speak of a new world order, we are witnessing the convergence Ezekiel saw. The world is unknowingly rehearsing for a scene written thousands of years ago, but there's also a message of hope hidden here. Prophecy was never meant to create fear, but awareness. Those who understand the signs are not caught off guard. They prepare their hearts, their minds, and their souls. While the nations prepare for war, believers prepare for redemption. The same chapter that warns of destruction also reveals God's faithfulness. He defends his people, he restores them, and he proves himself to the watching world. If you've made it this far, take a moment to reflect. The alliances shifting today are not just geopolitical headlines, they are echoes of ancient promises and warnings. Each event, each agreement, each war moves us closer to the day when these words will be fulfilled in full. And maybe, just maybe, we're the generation privileged or tested to witness it. Now more than ever, stay awake. Don't be distracted by the noise. Watch, discern, and seek the truth hidden behind the headlines. Share this video with others who feel something deeper is unfolding. Comment below. Do you believe Ezekiel's prophecy is coming alive before our eyes? I'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you haven't yet, take a second to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. There are more revelations coming soon. And if you want to dive deeper into the meaning of these prophecies and how they connect to the events we see today, there's a link in the description that leads to a guide designed to help you understand the times we live in and how to prepare for what is ahead.